Assalamualaikum with my viewers with Islamic greetings. May the peace and blessings of Almighty Allah be upon you all. So today we got a very interesting topic. It's the inheritance rulings according to Quran. And there will be some mathematical issues. There are some mathematical issues here, so I'll be trying my best to explain it to you easily so that all my viewers can understand it. But if you have some problems, you can always let me know in the comment section, because I always read the comments. So let's start. So the inheritance ruling, basically in the Quran we can find it on only three verses, and all three verses are in the chapter 4, which is Surah An-Nisa. So the first verse is gonna be verse number 11. So here it says, perfect. So here it says, Allah commands you regarding your children, the share of the male will be twice of the female. If you leave 2 or more females, the share will be 2/3 of the estate. But if there is only 1 female, her share will be half. Each parent is entitled to 1/6 if you leave offspring. But if you are childless and your parents are only heirs, then your mother will receive 1/3. But if you leave siblings, then your mother will receive 1/6, and after the fulfillment of bequests and debts. Be fair to your parents and children, and you do not fully know what is more beneficial to you. This is an obligation from Allah. Surely Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. So this is verse number 11. Pretty straightforward, but a lots of information there. So we have to explain it. But I'm gonna go with all 3 verses. Then I'm gonna explain it, all them simply, so that everybody can understand. So the next verse number 12, what does it say? You will inherit half of what your wife leaves if they are childless, but if they have children, then your share is 1/4 of the estate after the fulfillment of bequest and debts. And your wives will inherit 1/4 of what you leave if you are childless. But if you have children, then your wives will receive 1/8 of your estate. And after the fulfillment of bequest and debts, and if a man or woman leaves neither parents nor children, but only a brother or sister from their mother's side, they will inherit 1/6. But if they are more than one, they all will share 1/3 of the estate. And after the fulfillment of bequest and debts, without harm to the heirs. This is a commandment from Allah, and surely Allah is all-knowing, most forbearing. Now this is also pretty straightforward, but actually there's like lots of info. So the third verse is gonna be verse number 176 all the way to the end. So what does it say? So they ask you for a ruling, O Prophet. Say, Allah gives you a ruling regarding those who die without children or parents. If a man dies childless and leaves behind sister, she will inherit 1/2 of the estate, whereas her brother will inherit all of her estate if she dies. If the person leaves behind 2 sisters, they will together inherit 2/3 of the estate. But if deceased leaves male or female sibling, the male share will be equal to that of the 2 females. Allah makes this clear to you so that you don't go astray, and Allah has perfect knowledge of all things. So here we can see that verse number 11 has the rulings for children and parents. So for the children, the general rule is the male will get the share of 2 females. So that means the male will get the double of the females. If a man leaves 2 daughters or more, they will share 2/3 of the estate. If he leaves only 1 daughter, she'll get half. And for the rulings of the parents is, if the deceased has children, each parent will get 1/6. And if the deceased has no children, then the mother will get 1/3. Excuse me. So verse number 12. This one covers spouses and maternal siblings. So what will happen for the husband? You will get half if his wife has no children, and you will get 1/4 if she has any children. For the wife, she will receive 1/4 if the husband has no children, and she will receive 1/8 if he does have children. For maternal siblings, which means brothers or sisters from the same mother only, so there is only one maternal brother. They will receive like 1/6 of the total estate, and if there is like more than one, like 2 or more, then they will receive 1/3 equally. And verse number 176, which is the final verse, which deals with the inheritance law, and it's like a person dies without children or parents. So this type of person is like basically called kalala. It's like not like what you call orphan, but it's like a different word, because orphan normally doesn't have a father or mother, but this guy doesn't even have children. So this person is called kalala. So this is like for like full siblings or like paternal siblings. This is like only for the sibling. So for the sister, if there is only one sister, she will get half. If there are like 2 or more sisters, they will collectively get 2/3 of the total estate. And if there's like both brothers and sisters, the male will get the share of 2 females, like double. So now most people critics here that how come the women's are getting less, and the thing is, and the example and the reference is actually in front of us, so we cannot deny it. So every male is basically getting double share of a female. So yes, lots of people from the outside it does looks like a little bit not justified actually, because why would the male get more and the female get less? After all, Islam says that everybody is equal in the front of Allah, so how come we are having this? Right. So this actually we have to look deeper inside of the inheritance, like also inheritance, and also like what is the ruling that Allah gave us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, like how we should spend our wealth. So when we look at the female, a female is not only bound to spend her money only for herself, as if like it's like if she wants the whole property, the whole inheritance will belong to her only. Like she won't be held accountable, like if she doesn't want to give her father or parents money, or she doesn't want to spend it on her family, or she doesn't want to spend it even for her children, we cannot hold her accountable. This is totally her wealth. She can do whatever she wants with her wealth. But when we come to a man, Allah gave him the responsibility to take care of his family. So a man must spend for his family, for their wives, and for their children, and he has to take care of their basic needs. For example, their clothing, or their rent, their food, etc., etc. This is like and if the man refuses to do that, he is gonna be held accountable, and he cannot escape this thing. So technically in this sense, there it's completely just. It's completely just because the woman, she doesn't have to spend it, and if she doesn't want to, I mean, it's not that like you cannot spend it. It's like it's totally your will. If you want, you can contribute, but it's not like an obligatory duty towards the woman. But for men, it is obligatory. So I believe this is just. Now we're gonna do a small mathematical problem so that we can understand how we are gonna divide this inheritance. So this is gonna be a very small mathematics, and I'm trying my best to explain it very easily. But if you still have some problems, kindly reach me out. So for the example, we are gonna select a man. He's dead, so he leaves behind a wife, mother, and two daughters. Two daughters. So according to verse number 11 and 12, we are gonna have the wife will get 1/4 of the total estate. Mother, she will get 1/3 of the total estate, and the two daughters collectively, they will share 2/3 of the whole estate. So how are we gonna divide it? So first we have to find the common denominator between these three fractions we got. So the common denominator between 4, 3 and 3 is gonna be 12, because 12 is divided by both 4 and 3. 12 can be divided by both 4 and 3. So if the denominator changes to 12, then what will be the wife's property? Wife will get 1/4 of the whole estate, so that will turn into 3/12 of the whole estate. Mother will get 1/3 of the estate, so that if they change the denominator to 12, she will get 4/12 of the whole estate. And if I bring, and for the two daughters who are gonna get 2/3 of the whole estate, now they're gonna have 8/12 of the whole estate. So if we do the calculation, now we have to divide the whole property into 12 part. So the denominator will be 12, and on the top we are gonna have 3 plus 4 plus 8, which will turn into which is 15. And when the result goes, it turns into 1.25. That means it is 125%. Here, what does it mean by 125%? That means if the man leaves $100,000, for example, if this man left $100,000, for example, now I have to divide $125,000 equally between them. And question is, where I'm gonna get this $25,000 extra? Now this picture we got here on the right side, we see there is a gray rectangle here, which is the example of the total estate of the man that left, which is $100,000. The gray rectangle, the long gray rectangle, and we can take the green one for wife, the blue one for mother, and the orange one for the two daughters. They're not. This is just an image. This is not like geometrically accurate, but you can see this. When I divided the share, they are overlapping with each other, and this overlapping part is the $25,000, which is, we have to find out a way to how to divide, how to get these things. So if we go through the normal math, for example, the man has $100,000. The inheritance will be according to, the mother will get 100,000 times 4 divided by 12, which will be $33,333. and 3 cents, which is gonna be 33.3% of the total estate. The wife will get 100,000 times 3 divided by 12, which will turn into $25,000, which is 25% of the total estate. And the two daughters, they will receive 100,000 times 8 divided by 12, which will be $66,666, and 666666666 cents, which will eventually comes up to 66.6% of the total estate. So now, if we calculate this $33,333.33 plus $25,000 plus $66,666.667. If we add them up together, it comes into $124,999 and 99999 I think equals to $125,000. So we have a big problem, massive problem here, ladies and gentlemen, which is $25,000. Now who's gonna give this $25,000? Oh no, did Quran made a mistake? Oh no. So what are we gonna do? Looks like Quran did make a mistake. Or is it actually a mathematical issue? Can we solve it? Let's see. Now when I was learning this, when I was doing this example, I was also shocked. Like, how is this possible, man? This is a huge error. But then I realized that, when I studied it further, when I studied this topic further, then I realized actually this has a solution, because this is what Islam is. Everything in Islam makes sense. It will make sense. Just you have to change your point of view. So how are we gonna do it? So the previous Sahabas, who are our teachers, they also face this problem, especially Umar radiallahu anhu, the Khalifa, one of my favorite leaders in the Islamic history. So he invented a solution which is called the owl. It's not O, it's A. It's called owl, which means redirect or proportionality shrink. So it was first applied by Umar ibn al-Khattab. So when a woman, it happened when a woman died and she left behind a husband and 2 daughters. So the Quran shares this scenario, and this didn't add up, and that Umar radiallahu anhu said a very famous word, and I'm gonna quote it. So he said, "By Allah, I do not know which of you comes first and which of you comes next. If I start with the husband and give him his right in full, then the 2 sisters won't get their right in full. And if I start with the 2 sisters and give them their right in full, the husband will not get his right." And the reference and the book where I find this reference was from Al-Masuah Al-Fiqh. So now let's try this exceptional method that was invented by our legendary Sahabas. Like, people, like, they were like something, like, I have to admit, I have to salute them. Like, whoa, their like level of their knowledge is like beyond. So how are we gonna do this? I'm gonna use owl. So remember, the denominator we got was 12 and on top we got 15. So what we're gonna do is, if we want to apply owl, first we have to add the shares. After the common denominator, we have to add the shares. So the shares was 3 plus 4 plus 8, which adds up to 15. Now, instead of dividing the whole estate into 12 parts, we're gonna divide the estate into 15 parts. So the wife will get 3 by 15. That means the denominator will change. Denominator here will change from 12 to 15, but the top part will remain same. The share will remain same. So the wife will get now 3 by 15. So previously she was getting 25%. Now she's gonna get 20%, which comes to $20,000. Mother was getting 33.3% of the total estate. Now she's gonna get 4 share from the 15. So it's gonna be rounding up to 26.6%, or $26,666 and 66666. That means 67 cents. And both daughters, they are gonna get 8 by 15 share. 8 shares from the 15 shares. So that will be added, that will come to 53.4% instead of their 66.6%, which will turn into $53,333 and 3333333 Now, if we add the total amount, 20,000 plus $26,666.67 and $53,333.33 will come into $999,999, which is $100,000. So equation is solved and they are getting their fair amount of share. Now, this thing, did all the Sahabas agreed with this? The thing is, this is another beauty of Islam. It's like one of the major companion of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, even Abbas, he disagreed with this thing, method, and he held a different opinion. But the thing is, there is a thing in Islam which is called ijma. So basically this thing is, when you like having difficulty to find the solution from the Quran or Hadith, then you have to go for the consensus. And like whatever the majority of the Sahaba decides, you have to follow them. And since Ibn Abbas, famous companion of Allah, may Allah be pleased with him, he's even if he disagreed, majority of Sahaba, they agreed with the Amirul Mu'minin of that time, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Allah be pleased with him. So the thing got passed, and from there till now it's been considered as obsolete. So yeah, I hope the mathematical problem and the owl function, hopefully I was able to like make my viewers understand. I know I'm just a normal human being, and the truth belongs to Allah and Him only. If I make error, please correct me in the comments, and because I'm also learning, because even if I've been studying Islam, trust me, as every time when I go to somewhere, I find something new. Like it totally blows my mind, which I find very beautiful and the same time concerning as well. So yeah, this is like basically my research and study, and yeah, I'm always learning. So if you have any further question, feel free to ask in the comment. And also, if you have any video preference, like for example, because this is basically this is a channel of comparative religion, so you can let me know which other religion should I cover next. So yes, this is an end for our video for this day. So please be upon to you all my viewers, and please, if you like this video, it would be very heartwarming for me to see if I see your likes in my video, because I'm like very relatively new to make videos and stuff. So yeah, your support is highly appreciated, and thank you again very much for being with me all this time. And also, may Allah give everybody something better than they deserve. Peace, and see you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.